What if I told you there was a man who lived over 900 years ago, who never experienced death? A man so righteous that God literally took him from earth while he was still alive? His name was Enoch, and his story will blow your mind. But here's what most people don't know. Enoch's story holds secrets that could change how you view life, death, and your relationship with God forever. We're going back over 5,000 years to a time when the world was still young. This was before the Great Flood, before Noah built his ark, before Abraham was even born. The Bible tells us that people lived for hundreds of years back then. Adam lived 930 years. His son Seth lived 912 years. But among all these ancient patriarchs, one man stands out as absolutely unique. His name appears in Genesis chapter 5, verse 21. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. But wait, there's something very different about Enoch's story compared to everyone else in this genealogy. Let me show you. Look at this pattern in Genesis 5. It says, Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. Enosh lived 905 years, and then he died. But when we get to Enoch, something incredible happens. Genesis 5:24 says, Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. He was no more? What does that mean? The Hebrew word here is lakosh. It means God took him, received him, translated him to another place. The walk with God. But here's the key to understanding Enoch's story. The Bible says he walked faithfully with God. This isn't just casual strolling. The Hebrew word halak means to walk continually, habitually, as a way of life. Imagine this. While everyone around him was living normal lives, Enoch was in constant communion with the Creator of the universe, day after day, year after year, for 300 years straight. But here's what's fascinating. This deep relationship with God began after his son Methuselah was born. Something about becoming a father awakened something spiritual in Enoch. Think about it. When you hold your newborn child, you suddenly understand the miracle of creation in a whole new way. Maybe that's what happened to Enoch. So what actually happened to Enoch? The Bible gives us clues in other places. Hebrews 11:5 tells us, By faith Enoch was taken from this life, so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. Picture this scene. Enoch is walking with God, just like he had done for 300 years. But on this particular day, something different happens. Maybe God said, Enoch, we've walked so far together. Why don't you just come home with me? And just like that, Enoch was gone, not dead, not buried, simply translated to be with God. But wait, there's more to Enoch's story. The Bible mentions him again in the New Testament. Jude 1:14-15 quotes Enoch as prophesying, See, the Lord is coming with thousands upon thousands of his holy ones to judge everyone and to convict all of them of all the ungodly acts they have committed. This means Enoch was not just a man who walked with God. He was a prophet who saw the future. He saw the second coming of Jesus Christ thousands of years before it would happen. The two witnesses. Here's something that will blow your mind. Throughout history, only two people have been taken to heaven without dying: Enoch and Elijah. Some biblical scholars believe these two men will return as the two witnesses mentioned in Revelation 11, two men who will prophesy in the last days with incredible power. Think about it. Who better to witness to a dying world than two men who never experienced death themselves? So what can we learn from Enoch's incredible story? First, intimacy with God changes everything. Enoch's daily walk with God wasn't just religious routine. It was a living, breathing relationship that transformed his entire existence. Second, parenthood can be a spiritual awakening. Enoch's deepest relationship with God began when he became a father. Sometimes God uses our human relationships to draw us closer to him. Third, faithfulness has extraordinary rewards. Enoch walked with God for 300 years. That's consistency, dedication, and unwavering faith. And God honored that faithfulness in the most incredible way possible. Here's the question for us today. Are you walking with God? Not just on Sundays, not just when you're in trouble, but every single day. Enoch shows us that it's possible to live in such close relationship with God that heaven becomes more real than earth. Enoch's story challenges us to examine our own spiritual walk. He didn't just believe in God, he walked with God daily. If this story has inspired you, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me, what would change in your life if you walked with God the way Enoch did? And if you want to discover more incredible Bible stories that will strengthen your faith and blow your mind, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Next week, we're diving into the shocking story of Melchizedek, the mysterious priest king who appeared out of nowhere and disappeared just as quickly. You won't want to miss it. Until then, remember Enoch's example. Walk with God today, walk with him tomorrow, and who knows, maybe your faithfulness will lead to extraordinary things too.